Hey everybody, in this video I want to talk about anxiety. I want to talk about when something doesn't go right with an income stream, because this has been weighing on me a lot and this was something that I didn't expect. And so let's rewind to January. January was my biggest month on Amazon KDP, that's Kindle Direct Publishing. I had a medium content book that just took off and did so well. And then my account was suspended. I had a coloring page inside of a coloring book that I downloaded from my Creative Fabrica license. And so when KDP asked me for proof of that, I went to Creative Fabrica and it was gone. Like, I couldn't look at the license, which communicated to me that someone illegally uploaded an interior page to Creative Fabrica, and I got in trouble for it. So after a lot of back and forth, my account was turned on again a couple hours later, and I was so thankful. And something else happened. My best-selling books were blocked, and to this day, Amazon has never really told me exactly why those ones are blocked, because they aren't related to the Creative Fabrica issue. So in January, I was able to pull in $11,000 of royalties, which was incredible considering that was my very first full January on KDP. I started last year. My first book didn't go live until January 4th. And so I was elated, right? But having it shut down was also scary. It looked like it was projected to make like 14 grand, which was cool. And so after the books were blocked, I had to start over again. And February, I was able to generate like $1,200 by the grace of Heavenly Father. I truly, because I went through all the stages of grief, I was so discouraged and sad when that income stream got punched in the face. When I felt like I got punched in the face a little bit. And so fast forward, March's payment was the 11 grand. And you guys know in September and October, I started talking about retiring my husband, right? And a lot of my digital marketer friends are like, what are you waiting for to do it in 3 years? Why don't you just do it now? And so my goal was to have multiple passive income streams. And you guys know that we are building a real estate portfolio. And we're working on our third house now. And in January, when I was able to pull in those profits, it was very exciting to be like, oh, we can hire out more contractors than doing it ourselves. Now, I bought a house in 2013, and I filled it with a bunch of girls as my roommates, and that helped cover the mortgage. Pardon me. And then I met my husband online. I met him on Facebook, and I had to make sure he wasn't a catfish. So I flew out to Kentucky, and you guys, he was so nice. He was so nice. He is nice. It's funny now because I know him, you know. So when we met online, it was very clear that this could go somewhere. We had the same values and we had similar background. So I decided to move into my unfinished basement of my house that I bought, and I filled it up with more girls. And he told me, you should get out of debt as much as you can. You know, like I paid off my car. I had a really, really old Land Rover, bad choice. And I was able to get out of debt and things like that. So when we got married, he already had the cutest little son that was 5. And so it made sense for me to move to Kentucky. So moving to Kentucky, we decided to rent out that house. And that was the very first opportunity for us to become real estate professionals. This past 4 months, we hired a CPA finally. We've always done the taxes on our own. We've been married 9 years this summer. And the CPA said, you guys are going to be real estate professionals. And I was thinking in my mind, like, no, I'm a course creator and a digital marketer and like a retiring wedding photographer. I just didn't understand, like, what is she talking about? But what she meant is when you acquire more homes, you do become a real estate professional. So fast forward, here we are. So anyway, so we ended up renting out that house, and we decided, instead of going on a honeymoon or buying a wedding ring, that we would take that money and build an apartment into that house. So now that house is it's a main home, and it has a mother-in-law apartment now. And then we rented till 2021. So we rented for 6 years of our marriage. And then we bought a house, and then last summer we bought a house, right? So we don't make a ton of money. Digital marketing has changed my life, as my husband has carried the baseline for us. And then in 2019, I learned Facebook ads. I learned sales funnels. I learned ClickFunnels. I learned to run ads, and I had my first taste of my digital marketing. I created a course called How to Be Authentic Online, and I was able to gross $30,000 in like 49 days, 50 days. And that changed our life, right? So I've always been like, what is that thing that can really change our life? So I know that I have the capability to retire my husband. He works in the medical field. So that's been the goal. But when my account got shut down, when my account was suspended and reinstated, and I had to start over with my income, I kind of stopped talking about that, about building enough income to retire him, because it was so discouraging. So now we're sitting, this is end of April, and the next royalty check is, right, $1,000 because I started over. And it's caused me a lot of anxiety. And I want to just say, these are first world problems, right? Like, to be able to have a side hustle or just one income stream that can change your life, not even talking about second or third or fourth, right? Like, I've always been a strategic course creator. My strength is ideation. Like, I've always been able to take on clients, whatever I decided to stick with. But the KDP thing was just so much fun. Like, I love making medium content books. Like, it is so fun to me. Anyways, so I wanted to be transparent and authentic and vulnerable with you guys, that the journey is not linear. Like, right now I'm feeling like, like I'm feeling like I've got to tie up the boots. I've got to work more strategic. So that's what you've seen on the channel when I'm always talking about KDP, and now I'm starting to look at more income streams, because the anxiety and the 4 stages of grief that I felt having that income like wiped, like tripped out from under me, really changed. I'm actually, I don't want to jinx anything, but I'm kind of grateful that the opportunity that came, because it really made me take a stand of like, I'm going to build more than just a couple income streams. I want more. I want to diversify. I want to fortify my weaknesses, right? Like, KDP was getting so much fun that like, I was like, oh, I don't need to do this or that. And that's okay, but it's always good to diversify. And so if you've ever had an income stream that has just like stopped, I just want you to know that you're not alone, and that there is actually a lot of potential for you to pick something and pursue it. And it is not linear. Like, you just have to be like, maybe this is it. I was reading in the Bible today, In the Bible, when Jesus says to one of the apostles, he says, abide in me and I will abide in you, and the mountains will flee. Like, we talk about faith moving mountains, but the imagery of like Jesus, like making a mountain flee, like the word flee is like run away. Anyways, I was like, that's really empowering. And we need to have that type of empowerment in our life to help us thrive, but to also empower us not to give up, because sometimes the mountains are in our mind. Do you know what I mean? Like, sometimes it is so hard to get over the mindset that it's not going to work for me. And if you believe that it's not going to work for you, you're right. It won't. Like, belief is a cornerstone of success, and you need to believe in yourself before anybody else does. So I just want you to know that I see you. I see the work that you're putting in. I see your desire, and your desire can be strengthened by your action, to take action, to find the passive income stream that you're most excited about and pursue it, and have backup plans and have other fun things going. So I'm sharing this so when I look back in a year, we can laugh over the anxiety. We can giggle over starting over and tune into the gratitude that comes for when things don't turn out the way you want them to. I would have just loved to have been making 14 grand every month, 11 grand every month. But like, how would I grow without lessons? How do we grow, right? So anyways, that's it. Let me know all your thoughts about anxiety around income streams, about how life is not linear, and I will see you guys in the next video. Love you. Peace out.